To climb the ladder, retrieve the briefcase, won yourself a world title match or any time up to 1 year.
Money in the Bank is just a couple weeks away, and today I want to hear who you want to win both the men's and women's Money in the Bank. Put that in the comments below, because I'm going to tell you who I want to win. I have 4 men and 2 women that I'm just like, please let one of them take home that briefcase. They can climb the ladder from rung to dang rung, pull down the contract, and just cash it in, call their spot, and become a champion. The first one I want to win is Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is a very dark horse pick because I just don't think they'll do it this year, and it might actually be for the best because John Cena holding this undisputed title means the pickings are very slim in order to cash in. Now, you do have a whole year, so you can wait until after John Cena retires in December, so it's not out of the question. I don't know. There's just something about how they've treated Carmelo Hayes that it doesn't seem like they're ready to fully go all in. But that said, that's what the briefcase is for. The first 2 winners.
He's got it! Oh my God! Edge has won the match! Damn it! Pin it up! 10 down! He got it!
Both of them, it seemed like they were at the cusp of the main event, but they weren't willing to go all in on. So they gave them the contract, and with that, they were able to break through. They were able to actually break through and stay in the main event. So the Money in the Bank can be a king maker. However, it can also completely just make you look like the biggest chump in the world. Look at Austin Theory.
Did they tell you there's a plan?
I don't feel like there's ever a plan because I would have never cashed in on the United States Championship.
Austin Theory was another very young and talented dude who won the Money in the Bank, and then, well, first off, he cashed in on the U.S. title. Stupid! And then he lost. He even lost that. So look at him now. Look at Austin Theory now. He can't even get enough airtime to break up with his partner, Grayson Waller. So, yeah, you got to be very, very careful with who you give the title to, especially a young talent like Carmelo Hayes. And since the World Championship scene is dominated right now with Jey Uso and probably Seth Rollins on Raw, and John having this title on SmackDown, I'm thinking maybe let's wait till next year to really fully invest in Carmelo Hayes with the Money in the Bank in the main event scene. I would love him to get it, but being where the landscape is now, 1 more year, I can live with that. Carmelo Hayes next year, and then you won't have a part-timer hopefully holding a stranglehold on this title right here. However, just because Carmelo Hayes isn't going to cash in on this title doesn't mean you can't cash in on this title. All you got to do to win it is, well, comment below. Subscribe to the channel, because at 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to give this belt away. I'm going to pick a random comment from a random video and ship this for free. Free shipping. Free shipping. Everything is free. Again, all you got to do, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell, ding, 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 notification, and don't forget to thumbs up the video. I would greatly appreciate it. Look at the thumb. This thumb would appreciate you doing this. Click thumbs up. All right. So who are my next pick? Let's do a woman, and that would be Chelsea Green, actually. So Chelsea Green did lose her match. I thought it was very weird, because she was the MVP of last year's Money in the Bank. She's the one that took the dangerous spot of being pushed off the ladder, out of the ring, onto a bunch of tables. And then her character work this year has been amazing and awesome. Now, I'm not saying that it was a bad call to let Alexa Bliss win, because honestly, that pop at Royal Rumble, why are we just now capitalizing on that pop? Why are we now just pushing Alexa Bliss? Alexa Bliss should have been pushed right out the gates after the Royal Rumble. But that said, the bad booking is in that we had Chelsea Green and Alexa Bliss fighting in the same match. They should have been in separate qualifying matches, so both of them could have qualified. And at the end of the day, I wish Chelsea Green could have won. Now, all of that said, it's not over until it's over. You know, we can book our way out of this situation by just doing a loser's bracket, a loser's battle royal. All of the losers of the qualifying matches go into a battle royal, and the winner gets to be the 7th spot, and that can definitely be Chelsea Green right there. And then Chelsea Green can go on to win the Money in the Briefcase. I think she would be great. Look at what she did with the U.S. title. That U.S. title is such a prized and prominent spot on the card because of Chelsea Green's work. Every time she shows up on her TV, her segments are great and amazing, and that's what wrestling is. It's about entertainment. And Chelsea Green is definitely the embodiment of entertainment. I love every moment of her on TV, and I could just see her doing great and beautiful things with the Money in the Bank. It can be a lot of really funny almost cash-ins until the moment that she actually does cash in. And because she's a comedic character, it's hard to really take her serious as a competitor for the world title. But the champion can lose to Chelsea Green with no, with no loss of momentum, because anybody who loses to the Money in the Bank, there's no shade in that, because the Money in the Bank is so much chaotic, so unpredictable, that if you lose to it, it's like, dang it, you got me. And so this would be a perfect way to elevate Chelsea without harming anybody. And I think most of us agree that Chelsea, with how much work she has put into her character and her TV time, maximizing her minutes, she definitely deserves that briefcase. Now let's go to someone who did win their qualifying match, who I definitely agreed with winning, and actually would love Solo Sikoa to go up and win the contract. Solo Sikoa, out of nowhere, has rebuilt all of his credibility, all of his aura that he lost last year, or actually that he lost this year. I really do believe that last year they had two opportunities actually it was last year and this year, they had two opportunities to give Solo Sikoa huge victories that could have went very far into solidifying himself as a main event player. One, if they had allowed Solo Sikoa to beat Cody Rhodes either at SummerSlam and then Cody to win it back at the SmackDown premiere, or they allowed Solo to beat Cody at the SmackDown premiere and then Cody to win it back at Bad Blood. That would have made Cody's title reign way more interesting, but it would have solidified Solo. It would have made Solo into a very big deal. When they gave Kane, let's go all the way back, flashback to the Attitude Era.
Will you give me the rematch tonight?
Gave Kane the title for 24 hours, one day, and that made Kane into pretty much a main eventer for the next 20 freaking years. And if they had given Solo the title for just 2 weeks, just a measly 2 weeks, that would have been a freaking huge deal. And he could still say, I was a former champion. I am the last of the Bloodline members to hold that undisputed title. There's so much he could have done with it, right? He could have really used it. Now, granted, it was nowhere near 1,316 days, but it wouldn't matter. Solo as a heel can use 2 weeks and say that it was just as great as Roman's title reign, because he's a heel and they're allowed to do that. Or the other opportunity was, and I know people are going to hate me for this, because first I'll get the Cody crybabies hating me because I dare say that Solo should have beat Cody, and now I'll get the Roman people hating me because I'm going to dare say that Solo should have beat Roman at the Netflix premiere. Because what did Roman winning the Ula Fala do for Roman Reigns? nothing. It did nothing. He doesn't even have the bloodline anymore. If Solo had won and taken the Ulafala, winning would have solidified him as an actual threat, and he could have moved on and fought other people, while Roman could still be in almost the same exact situation that he is right now. So if they were unwilling to give him a win against Cody or Roman, then give him the briefcase. Give him the freaking briefcase, and he can walk around like a boss, just saying, at any moment, I'm going to cash this in. I am the uncrowned world heavyweight champion right now, undisputed champion right now, because I have this. I have 1 year to do this, and you won't know when I'm going to do it. He can even say, I'm going to cash this in after John Cena retires. So, John, you don't even have to worry about me. Or maybe I'm lying. Who knows? So there's so much you could have done with Solo having the briefcase. Solo could do so much with it, and just really use that kind of like chaotic nature of his character, that unhinged nature of his character, I think would just really go good with the chaotic, unhinged nature of the Money in the Bank. Next pick is Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is a dude who has about 4 minutes of TV time every month, and yet has gotten himself over, and yet has the #1 selling shirt on WWE.com as of last week, and yet can go on Main Event, a show that airs on Saturday that nobody knows, not a single soul on this earth knows what time it actually airs on Saturday, and get one of the largest pops for TV on any show. I'm telling you, Karrion Kross is getting himself over without the WWE machine behind him. The only thing that WWE is doing is still writing him a paycheck for not being on TV. So Karrion Kross, not on TV, getting himself over and over and over, to the point that people in the audience, people at home, people on the internet, people on Mars, they're all just saying, I like this Karrion Kross guy, and nobody really knows why we like him. Suddenly, we all like him. But who cares? Who cares what the reasons are? The fact is, this dude's hot right now. He's hot with no help from Triple H's booking. So Triple H, what if, here's a crazy idea, you took a character that was hot, and you booked him. You booked him to be hot. You don't wait until it's too late, like you could argue with Jay. When Jay Uso was red hot, he should have won the Money in the Bank last year. When LA Knight, was red hot, he should have won the Money in the Bank 2 years ago. So right now, you have Karrion Kross, red hot. Give him the Money in the Bank. Look what he's doing without nothing. Imagine him with that Money in the Bank. He's already paying his own money out of pocket to produce his internet segments that he's airing all over the social media. So now he'll have the Money in the Bank, and he'll still do that. He'll still air his own stuff. He'll still just be the guy, and then he can be on TV. Then he can make a name for himself. He can always be lurking in the corners with the Money in the Bank. You can almost book him the same now without giving him real feuds, but he's just always there, always creeping, always just waiting, having something cryptic to say. This would be an amazing role for Karrion Kross to have the briefcase. I stand by it. I don't know who I want more, Karrion or Solo. There's a case for both of them. Two more that I could see and kind of low-key want. Actually, not low-key, high-key. The highest of all the keys. Is that a high key? High key, I want Naomi to win the Money in the Bank. Naomi, I'll tell you what. You can go back to my earliest 3 hot, 3 not last year, and I had Naomi as not hot. One of my earliest videos, I said we should turn her heel because she's doing nothing. And I was right, but I did not know that turning her heel would make her this good. Not in my wildest dreams did I think turning her heel could make her such a prominent and awesome character. I gotta say, Naomi is top 5, top 3, maybe top 2 characters right now in WWE. I love what she's doing. She's insane.
Pounces on her twice now. as her body just drapes to the floor.
She is, go to her Twitter even. Go to her Twitter and she's savage. She is straight up savage. She will murder everybody that she looks at. And do not cross this version of Naomi. That proceed with caution is not just a catchphrase. She's insane and I'm loving it. I'm here for it. Give her the briefcase. She's another character that is red hot right now. She's so red hot that she lost her WrestleMania match, and everybody's just like, what's she gonna do next? Like, come on, let's give it to her. If we're not gonna give it to Chelsea Green, then we gotta give it to Naomi. Those two are the women's division, in my opinion. They are entertaining TV, and I would love to reward Naomi. 13, 14 years at WWE. You know, well, she did walk out on 2 of them, but she was justified because the booking sucked. But yeah, I would love for us to reward Naomi for being a loyal soldier, for doing the best work of her career, and just being insane. That connection with the crowd. She was a decent face that I felt was a little on the boring side to just an amazing heel that I cannot get enough of. Please, 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 let's give it to Naomi. Proceed with caution. Imagine what she could do with that briefcase and be all wrapped up in caution tape. Love it. And the final guy I want to win, and I actually feel that they should just pull the trigger and make it happen right now, even though Solo Sikoa and Karrion Kross, I kind of like, my heart wants those 2 to win, even probably the most. I'm like really rooting for those guys, but my heart and my business my business sense, I don't know, to combined actually makes me think that LA Knight should actually be the winner. LA Knight, I feel his time is a ticking, and if we don't finally pull that trigger, bang, then I think then he's lost forever. I think main event LA Knight is lost forever. I think main event Karrion Kross can probably wait just a little longer. Solo Sikoa could just wait just a little longer. But I think LA Knight, that U.S. title reign, his stop and go push with that U.S. title reign has really hurt his credibility. The fact that they should have given him the Money in the Bank 2 years ago when he was super over and yet is still over makes me think that right now, that once he's completely done and out of the bloodline vortex, it's like, where does he go from here? If he doesn't have a Money in the Bank and an ability to just enter into that main event scene, I think LA Knight's just, I don't think I'd say a lost cause, but I would say just he's going to be one of those wrestlers that, what if, or he should have. He'll be like a Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect should have won the World Heavyweight title. LA Knight should have won the World Heavyweight title. I would love for Solo to get it for the reasons I already said, and for Karrion Kross, who's gotten himself over. But LA Knight got himself over also 2 years ago. So let's reward that. Oh, but he's just a Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin clone. So what? So what? That's my Kofi Kingston impression. So what? Okay, you wanna copy the 2 best? Good choice. If you're going to copy someone, copy the 2 best. LA Knight, yeah, was a great U.S. champion. His first run as a U.S. champion was actually really, really good. I would like to see what his first run as a Money in the Bank contender would be, and a champion as well. I think we need to pull the trigger. What are we waiting for? Are we waiting for the guy to turn 48? Because then everyone's going to be like, oh, he's too old. People are already saying, oh, he's too old. So we got to do it now. We got to do it now. Please, please, please pull the trigger. We made a mistake 2 years ago. We didn't give it to him. We should have given it to him. But hey, you know what? You got a star out of Damian Priest, out of that Money in the Bank. Good job. Last year, though, you did nothing. You got nothing. You furthered a feud with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk that was already red hot. You wasted last year when you could have given it to Jey Uso, who could have really used it then, or even LA Knight. So this year, let's play it safe by not playing it safe and give it to someone who needs to break into the main event scene. And that's what the Money in the Bank is for. So let's just play it safe and do what the Money in the Bank is designed for. We need new blood in that main event scene that has a viable chance, and that Money in the Bank is LA Knight's viable chance to winning the title. I really want Solo. Honestly, I really want Solo, but time's a ticking. We got to do LA Knight. We got to do it. Let's do it. So, there you have it. Those are my picks. I'm picking Naomi, and I'm picking LA Knight for who I want. Not who I think, who I want. I'll do a prediction video once all the qualifiers are in, and if I'm kind of a betting man right now, I'd probably say they're going to give it to Cody Rhodes. I hate that idea, but if I could pick Naomi, LA Knight, and I want to know who you would pick. Comment below your men and women who you want, who you think should get it. Right now, tell me who you want and who you think should get it. Boys, girls, have yourself a great day.